the reality is that there's a very interesting model that can survive huge stress. And I think that's a model worth studying and being interested in. The other model is actually quite pertinent to Ontario because we just had our Law Society, which is now nameless, decide that they've decided that they would allow charitable organizations or nonprofits to own law firms, which is really great until you actually start to think about it and you start to look at models such as Salvos in Australia, and you understand that what they've given us is really nothing that we don't already have, and they've actually given us something that is not sustainable. What I mean by that is the Salvation Army in Australia, which is called the Salvos, owns a commercial law firm that does commercial financing work, any kind of work that large law firms in Sydney do. They use the profits from that to fund a not-for-profit law firm that does work for people who can't afford lawyers. So it's a nice, seamless, symbiotic relationship. And we can't do that in Ontario. That's been prevented because we're not allowed to charge for legal work done by a charitable organization. So that kind of self-subsidizing model does not work. I would encourage you to read the Salvos chapter because it is something that was created by a millennial, and millennials are a factor in how the law firms are going to continue to change. And it's just a fascinating story of somebody who came up with a good idea and saw it through to fruition. There are a couple other models that are really, really interesting, and that's the plug-and-play models or the nomadic lawyering models that you'll see throughout the book, but these are firms that have looked at technology as a way to leverage how they can do business better, faster, cheaper with their clients, okay? And provide, more importantly, or just as importantly at least, in an era where lawyers have huge depression problems, have huge addiction problems, and higher suicide rate than they should have, this is addressing those needs and creating a work-life balance that is not otherwise attainable in a large or even a medium law firm environment. So the takeaway from all of this is that, of course, law is changing. I think we have to look at lawyers as not being the entire puzzle. They are a piece of the puzzle of the delivery service that we are giving. They are pilots to airlines, if you use that analogy. Are pilots very important for airlines? For sure. Are they held or are they helped along by technology? For sure. Do they buy the oil for the aircraft? No. Do they sell you tickets? No. Do they load you on the aircraft? No. All of which are also important as part of the service package. They don't do those things. So my analogy is that lawyers will start to just do lawyer stuff, and you will have a whole bunch of other people and technology building out the rest of the service delivery model. So those are just my very few remarks. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to take a few questions, and then we can continue to drink and eat. Gordon.